Okay, the next few are about lesson 6-7, which was on quadratic transformations. So let's look at the criteria and we're going to write our own quadratic equation. Of course, we have to write it in vertex form when we're talking about transformations. So let's remember it's going to be f of x equals a x minus h quantity squared plus k. So we need an a, we need an h, and we need a k value. So the vertex lies in quadrant 4. So just as a reminder, this is 1, and then you go counterclockwise 2, 3, and 4. So we have positive, positive. To get to this quadrant, you go negative, positive. To 3, we have to go negative, negative. And to get to quadrant 4, positive, negative. So it lies, our vertex is somewhere here, and there are no real roots. So in order to not cross the x-axis, this parabola has to turn down. This tells me that my a value has to be negative. So I have a negative a value because it's turning down, because we do not want it to pass through the x-intercepts because it has no real roots. The second part that we're given is the parent function has a vertical compression. So a vertical compression means that my a value has to be between 0 and 1, the absolute value. Okay, this is the dilation part. It is being compressed, so you can just make up whatever value you want for a as long as it's between 0 and 1. So I'm just going to keep it simple and say 1/2. Now, our h value and our k value, this is my vertex. So let's try yellow here. So my vertex, okay, has to be positive, negative. So it has to be a positive and then a negative. So my h has to be, let's erase that. Come on, eraser. So my h value has to be, like, we'll just call it positive 5. Okay, so I have to go in a positive direction. Then my k has to be negative because I'm going down. So let's just say -8. So now we're going to put it all together. My a value is negative because it turns down. It is a 1/2 because it's being compressed. Then I have x minus my h value, and then whatever the k value is, so it's -8. So you are looking for your a to be negative, your a to be between 0 and 1, that's the value of it. This must be minus, and this must be minus. So you can have different numbers here, here, and here. Okay, let's go through this. The vertex, so again, we need an a value, we need an h, and we need a k. So let's start with our a value. First of all, the vertex lies in quadrant 3. So quadrant 3 is here. There are 2 real roots. So in order to have 2 real roots, my parabola has to curve up to intersect the x-axis. So my a value is going to be positive. Now let's use blue. Okay, then my a value has to indicate a stretch, which means this should have been more narrow, but stretch. So this means my a value needs to be more than 1. So let's just say 2. Now let's talk about the vertex. So my vertex needs to be a negative number. So we can just say -5. And then the k value also needs to be negative because I'm going down. So let's say -8. And now let's put it all together. F of x equals a positive a value that's more than 1, x minus -5 minus 8. So you're looking for something that's similar to 2, positive number more than 1. This must be plus and this must be minus. A, H, and a K value. The vertex lies in quadrant 2, so that's here. There are 2 real roots, so we have to intersect the x-axis. So my A value is going to be negative, and it's a compression. So again, it must be between 0 and 1, the absolute value of it. So let's just go with 1/4. Then my H value, let's use a different color for this. So to get into quadrant 2, the H must be negative. So let's just say -8. Then I need to go up. So the K value needs to be positive. So let's just say +5. So let's put it all together. F of x equals a negative a that is between 0 and 1, x minus -8 plus 5. So again, you're looking for a negative, something between 0 and 1, a plus, and a plus.